Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Lost on the Way. This is not Philosophy S&P. I got you there for a second, didn't I? What we're going to talk about today, I'm hoping to make this a short video while I work on this structure here a little bit. I'm going to have multiple tasks that I'm working at. I'll tell you what I'm trying to do here, and then we'll talk about our subject. But what I want to talk about today has something to do with making and creating art, and specifically a way that I see that this can be applied, this information can be used here in Minecraft. So, what I'm doing here, this is the gunpowder creeper farm that we have spent, I don't know how many episodes and how much time on. And we're tearing down the walls because we made them super thick, because we found that the fence wall of stone lets light in, and then you don't get any good spawns. Now, I'm still waiting for a person that makes a farm that just has a very simple 18 block outside roof, no walls, seems to work fine in 119. I'm waiting for them to get back to me on that, because I thought 119 had to be absolute darkness to spawn. But he has a different kind of a layout. He has the dispensers putting water onto the floor from the floor itself instead of above the floor, which I think is a better design. And he uses a note block up here for the redstone, so I've removed that because I'm going to use the note block once I figure out how to make one. I'm also going to add about maybe another 8 or 6 or 7 levels, I think. I want to make it a little bit more levels. And I'm going to make the walls 1 block thicker than what I really want. And then on the inside around the area, I'm going to have my normal alternating with the stone fence. But it won't use anywhere near as much material as this big clunky design is using right now. And I may not do that if he answers and tells me you don't need to have the walls, or maybe I won't even build the walls at first. I'll try it with just the roof and see if that works. And then down here at the very bottom, this first platform, we're going to go ahead and make that have water going towards the center, and that's where our killing floor will be. And we won't have this huge wandering cart track. We'll just have a little area, about a 9x9 or so area in the middle with magma blocks and the killing floor. Much more efficient design, much better than anything I've done. And we're going to see how it works. And we're going to do our AFK platform. We're going to use at least 3 stacks. By my math, that's 196, I believe. 3 stacks of the scaffolding to get up into the sky and build a little AFK platform. But Ari has disabled AFK on this server, and I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for what I plan on doing, but I intend to make what's called an AFK pool that will take my body and float it around in a circle and make it so that I'm not just stationary in one area, and then I can AFK here. But I need to check with Ari and find out what the rules are for AFKing. But I want to learn the processes here. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to break the server, and there's nobody else playing right now. I can verify that. So I don't know why anybody would be upset about it. I don't even know why he has it on there in the first place. But he's the boss, and we do what the boss says. So what I want to talk about today, other than this whole mess here that we're dealing with, I want to talk about artistry and making art. And we're going to draw from a couple of examples and a couple of things that I've kind of learned over the years, hard-fought, hard-won lessons. And I want to share them with you. And they're actually being directed towards a friend of mine who has been joining me on Bliss World. I will not mention their name, but they'll know who they are when they hear me mention this. They have joined the world and have started a base now twice. They started one way up on a cliff, and then they started another one, and I wasn't really super happy with where they put it. But I'm not saying that because I want them to move or anything like that. I want to be flexible and let people kind of express how they wish, so I'm trying to not let it bug me. But he put it on a cliff where I was intending to have like a, I wanted to keep a mostly natural feature, and I was going to eventually put a hanging kind of a structure on the cliff while keeping the natural stone of the cliff. But there are other cliffs around that area, so there's plenty of room for everybody to grow and express themselves, so I don't have a problem with it. It bugged me a little, but I'm okay. You know, it's not a big thing for me. Anyhow, their new structure, I just get a message from them today, and they asked me to remove all the cobble from the front of their base. They don't like their layout. I don't remember the exact phraseology or how they phrased it or used it. Something about I don't like the layout on the server, or I don't remember exactly how they put it, but they don't like their layout right now. Now, this would be the second time that they have started a project and then, you know, started over, erased it, started over, whatever. Now, that's different than what I'm doing here, right? And what I'm doing here is I'm unhappy with the performance of this farm, and the design is clunky, and the whole point of the design when I was building this was to make something that would use less resources, and this is using way too many resources. And so I want to make the farm work better and function better, and you know, I want to use less resources. So that's why I'm redoing this. I'm not breaking this down because I'm unhappy with how it looks, although I am. I don't like how it looks and everything, but I'm not letting that stress me or bug me, you know. I'm willing to let this appearance of this place be as it is. And that's kind of my approach to whatever it is that I am designing in Minecraft. If some of you have been watching my live streams and my content, you see that once I build something, it's pretty much done. I might make some adjustments here and there, but that's it. I don't keep messing with it. I just, you know, make it work and stick with it. And that is a hard won lesson that I picked up over the years. There are two things that we artists tend to do. One of them is to take a piece of art and continually keep working on it, and it's never finished. The other thing we can do is we can take a piece of art and then erase and never really start. And I think that this individual that we're talking about tonight is one of the eraser kind. I'm thinking about some of the old masters in the painting and art and drawing world. You know, people like Vincent van Gogh. I'm thinking of that right now because I'm remembering seeing some of their pencil sketches, especially Da Vinci. Da Vinci is another really good one to look at. But when you look at any of their sketches, not their official paintings, but their sketches, if you look at their sketches, you find something interesting. You discover that they haven't erased any lines in their sketches. You can see every line that they ever made in the creation of that sketch. None of those lines are hidden from you. They're all right there for you to see. And it makes the sketch have more depth. It has more life and more presence because all those lines are there. Now, whether or not it's done on purpose, who can say? I'm certainly not Da Vinci, and I don't know what he was thinking when he did his designs. But you will find that to be a fairly consistent theme for all artists. They don't erase over their lines. One of the things that you can get caught up in, and I am the same way, especially when it comes to writing, this applies to writing as well. I can get caught up in wanting to erase something, or in the case of writing, wanting to remove or edit or remove some words or change something or delete a word or delete a sentence. Move things around. I want to get editing instead of writing. But here's the secret. Here's the trick to writing, and I think it works this way for all other pieces of art. You have to see it through. You have to start it. You have to keep working on it. You have to have enough willpower and determination to do so, and then you have to finish it. Whether or not you like it is irrelevant, and whether or not you want to keep it when you're done is irrelevant. Whether or not you want to share it is irrelevant. What is relevant is that you see it through and you finish it. You don't get caught up in constantly reworking something. If you're reworking it over and over and over again, it's never going to get done, and it becomes something that is in limbo. It'll never be completed. You can't sell painting that you've never finished. And you can't publish a book that you've never finished writing. Likewise, you need to finish your structures that you start in Minecraft. Now, I am guilty of not doing this. In Creativerse, I started a huge castle. Creativerse is a game very similar to Minecraft, using the blocks, and now they have a creative mode. In Creativerse, I started this big castle, and this was a few Christmases ago, just before Christmas. I never finished it, and I probably never will. And when I first started working and playing and building in Minecraft, I'd start these big structures and I wouldn't finish them. As it is right now, I am struggling with this giant houseboat. I'm getting caught up on all these side projects. I don't know when Aries is going to announce the end of the season, but I want that houseboat finished before I leave. It's the first time I've done a big project, a mega base, and I want to make sure I see it through to completion, because every time I have started anything like that, I have not seen it through. I haven't been able to make a castle yet. I started one in the previous World for Lost on the Way, and I might have showed you guys that, if you guys remember, probably a year or two ago. I had one where I was working on this kind of a castle. I was really proud of it too, but I got caught up in the detail stages. You don't want to get caught up in the detail stages. You've got to get the thing done. When you're drawing, you've got to have your rough sketch, and you got to get it done. Then you can start on the other things. If you don't get your rough sketch done, you're never going to be able to finish that painting. And unless you don't sketch when you paint, but then you've got to block in whatever it is that you're going to paint. In writing, it's, you got to get that first draft. Sometimes there's an outline depending on the kind of writer you are, but generally speaking, it's a first draft that you got to get done. In writing, you've got to do not only one draft or two drafts or three drafts, you might have to do half a dozen or more drafts. And all of those early drafts will probably be absolute garbage that you won't be using in the final product. But you need every single one of those drafts to get to the final draft, which is the one that you can then submit to an editor. And then you have to revise it some more to make it printable and publishable. That's how I understand the writing process to work. The phrase for this, and I apologize for the language, but it's shitty first drafts. And likewise, in Minecraft, you have to do your shitty first house, your shitty first survival stuff. I constantly tell people to go and watch Scar's older videos. Scar's very good at keeping his older videos up, and go and look at his first videos that he ever did and the first structures he ever made. And you can see how everybody starts on the same level, even if some have slightly more skill or understanding or knowledge to something, a little better sense of architecture or design or whatever. Everybody starts at a point where the first things they build aren't that pretty. I don't think there has been a single Minecraft player, painter, writer, anybody that has created for the very first time in the very first draft or very first build something amazing and beautiful. I think there's been some stuff that has been really amazing and beautiful that has been created by first-timers, but it might have been something that had been worked on for a period of time. So, what I'm trying to say here is you just got to see your projects through. You can't keep getting in the revision phase. You don't want to erase all those wonderful sketch lines in your drawing. Those give it life and movement. You want to have all of that there. That's the history of your drawing. You want to have the flaws. You may not love something that you did, some part of it, or in whole or in part, but there might be some aspect to something that you have done that you're not entirely pleased with, and that you would consider that a flaw. Something about it's not straight, something about it's not right color, the right design, the right whatever. There might be something like that. Okay, so to this user that I have been talking about and using as one of my examples, I've been thinking about sending you a message But I thought, okay, I'll just do a video because that's going to help more people, and I'm going to direct you to it. So I might do that as well, send you a brief message. But I wanted to let you know that you need to settle on a design, and I might give you a challenge. It won't be in order because on Bliss World we're just hanging out and playing and having fun together. But I might give you a challenge to see if this third structure you build or this second iteration on your second structure, if you can actually complete, the challenge will be to actually complete and finalize and finish your design and walk away from it and be satisfied with it. Sometimes it's the flaw that makes the thing beautiful. Sometimes it's the flaw that makes it desirable and gives it visual interest. I want you to, the challenge will be for you to settle on your design and not just keep starting over and starting over and starting over. I want you to start, work on it, complete it, and then move on to the next project. So that's what I'm going to try to inspire you to do, okay? And that's basically it for this video. That's basically all I wanted to share here. I wanted to share with you guys this kind of principle for architecture that I don't think a lot of people know or talk about. Art. I don't think it's taught or mentioned or talked about very much out there, but I wanted to bring that to your attention, give you guys some general principles on how to approach something artistically. Whether you're writing, whether you're designing a building in Minecraft, whether you're painting, it doesn't matter what your creative endeavor is. Whatever it is that you're doing, I want you to apply these principles. Start the project, get your broad strokes painted first, and then finish your project. Do any detail work you want to do, save the detail work for the end. Editing comes after you've written your book, it doesn't come before. And then when you finally have your project done, you've accomplished the goal you set aside for yourself for your project, that's when you walk away from it, call it good, and move on to the next one. And you just let it go. Learn to let it go and let it be however it came out. That's the biggest challenge that an artist has to face. I hope this video has helped you guys. I'm probably going to do another Lost in the Way video after this about another subject that I find kind of interesting. This will be a good video to tide you over in case I get delayed again this week for our Friday video. See you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.